Hey, it's your girl KB coming at you with another review for Love Island, y'all. This is like the last few episodes, kind of mushed together because, yeah, none of them had really was given enough to really give an individual review for the time constraints I was under in the office last week. So here we are with, what is it, 32 on. I don't be watching the After Sun. I just watch clips. I just watch clips of the After Sun. They're making Casey and TT's segment like real blown up out of proportion. We'll see how they behave from here on to the reunion to know if they gonna walk around with a chip on their shoulder or if they gonna be cool and they gonna kick it like they should be, right? So let's get on into it. I appreciated Kata and Trinity's conversation. Trinity, she treated her with care, but stayed firm on how she felt. I think it's a situationship. It's a situationship where I'm from. If you don't feel like it's a situationship, then that's fine. I won't call it a situationship. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. And I can truly appreciate that about Trinity because she's just like, okay, you ain't got to change what I feel. I ain't got to change what you feel. It's all hugs and love. You in your relationship, you happy. I'm in mine. I'm happy. Bryce walks out first and sees that today is family day. You got the coffee mate cart out there saying so, right? He runs back in and tells everybody they're all excited. I'm like, why didn't they just let it be a surprise and let the parents just start walking in like last season, right? Bryce and Trinity's family is up first. It was real cute. They meet up in the front first before they walk out there, so we see them interact with each other and they down for each other. So they go on out there and let's get these kids this money, right? Because they already know what's up. Bryce and Trinity run over there. Trinity hugs his family first. I couldn't tell if it was just because they were in front or did she intentionally do it. But yes, Bryce's granny was a hoot, okay? Bryce's granny was something else. She changed everything for me because at first I was kind of on the fence like, is Bryce scamming or not? Does he really like Trinity or is he just in it for the money? If so, it looks like Trinity is scamming with him. So I didn't really care one way or the other because get my girl the money. But after meeting Bryce's grandmother, the grandma is the Trinity, okay? The grandma is girlfriend. Grandma Ann and Trinity, they are the same. They are both tell it like it is. Whatever they feeling is gonna come out of their mouth, but in the sweetest way, but with care. It's not gonna be malintent at all. I said, wow, okay. Bryce might really be in love with this girl because that's his granny down. That's his granny down. So she's like, when are we gonna get the kids in the hideaway? We fight nature. We fight nature. Trinity family like, no, don't get them in the hideaway. No, we okay with that. Bryce, I said Bryce being messy and real nosy makes sense now too. If your grandmother was like that co-parent in your life because you didn't have your dad in your life and your grandma was there, yeah, she taught you how to have a good tea session, and we see why you and your girlfriend be sitting up being nosy to the bud. I can't wait for the first Bryce, Trinity, and Grandma Ann tea session. That is gonna be a time, y'all. The grandma is the Trinity, okay? So she's a ball of energy. When they're walking over and they're sitting down, Kenzie is like, we love Bryce. She's like, oh, even with his turtle tongue. Grandma was ready, locked and loaded, baby. Bryce was like, what? Huh? What's she talking about? They bring Zach and Kata over because Zach is the true love of Bryce's life. So let's meet him as well. They talk about Kata and then Grandma Ann says, yeah, there's always somebody being underserved in a three-way. I said, whoa, 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 Grandma Ann, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then they're going through the dressing room. She's like, oh, this is where all the twerking happened. This is where all the twerking happened. Oh, I like this. This is my favorite part. When you told Zach, get the fuck out my spot. Get the fuck out my spot. She said that was her favorite part, baby. I know the misogynists online are cringing because there were so many tweets. There was so much content around. Oh, Trinity has such a foul mouth. Look at how she talks to KC. Look at how she's always yelling and stuff. She think that that white boy family gonna take that. She think that Bryce family gonna accept that. Well, his grandma loves it. So, like I said, I didn't even have no faith in them being together outside of the villa until their grandma came. I said, wait, this might actually be the love of his life. This might actually be the love of his life, child. Next, we get Anaya and Carl's families. Their families fit as well. Like everybody online said, they walked into the villa just looking like wealth, okay? Zach is gagged, okay? He's like, one of those girls is Anaya's mom. Are you serious? I said, yeah, that's what black women, that's how black women age. You hate us so much, but look at how that works. Altogether, they're so cute, and the families are in tune. They question her. Her mom questions her about why she didn't follow her gut with Carl. And seeing this was so funny because seeing Anaya's mom, I can see why Anaya is such a people pleaser. You know what I mean? Like her mom's word is Bible. Whatever her mom says goes, even if it's not how she feels, okay? Because we're going to get to that when we get to Trinity. I do feel like Anaya liked Carl. A lot of people are like, she didn't like Carl. She didn't like Carl. She didn't pick him. She didn't pick him. She didn't pick him. She valued longevity with a black man, and I feel like she was chasing that black love trope. Only she can say for certain if she was, but it definitely gives black love. Why wouldn't I want it to be the black love couple? I ain't never took no white boy home. How this gonna work? And then she gets the approval for her mom, and her mom already knew, you know you like that man, why you ain't pick that man? Okay, but she gets the green light from her mom, so she is very excited about that. Anaya almost cries or something. Her mom is like, girl, stop all that crying. Stop all that. When you start doing all that crying? She was like, I know, right? She was like, girl, you don't know how it's different in here. It's different in here. Love Island definitely looks like psychological warfare. Them not knowing what time it is, not having no contact with the outside world, not knowing what's going on in the news, not being able to watch television and all that. That's intense, you know. I be wanting to talk to my mom. I talk to my mom like every day. Like every day. What you mean I can't talk to my mom for like 2 months? Crazy. So, yes, her mama checks her on giving Mel bad advice, okay? She tells her, I get that you want your friend to stay, but you need to tell her the truth. But mom, they really have a connection. That's fine. They can have a connection, but that ain't got nothing to do with you and the advice that you give, okay? Because you steering that girl over there, got her thinking that she's in a good relationship when she's being emotionally abused. She is. A lot of people be like, oh my gosh, y'all are so extra with this abuse word. It is absolutely emotional abuse. She's crying almost every day that they have to interact with bombshells or movie night, or like she's crying the majority of the summer, and y'all don't think this is emotional abuse? Okay, so she downplays it, but she need to be giving him the same amount of smoke that she gives KC. I don't understand why the Villa girls don't. Well, we saw that clip where they said that Trinity be giving sincere smoke, we just don't see it. So it's production trying to paint this light on it, at least when it comes to Trinity, because ain't no way that Sincere don't be getting no smoke. He got everybody under a spell, y'all. TT and KC's families meet. They let them know that they boyfriend and girlfriend. TT she can't really verbalize what she likes in KC. Okay, other than the connection is easy. I said we really don't know much about them other than they're from the same neighborhood and they like to laugh. Casey and TT like to laugh a lot, okay? They like to laugh at everything. They like to laugh at nothing. They like to laugh at each other, but they especially like to laugh at other people. That is their favorite thing to laugh at, but that's really all we know about them. Dylan and Kenzie. Only thing I can really remember about them, her mom said that Dylan is like her dad. Her dad said that marriage ain't no crystal stair, girl. You gotta work at it, okay? Kenzie pulls Dylan's mom and basically apologizes. Dylan's mom like, you ain't did nothing wrong. And girl, I used to do gymnastics, so I'm gonna practice my clam slams for the next time we meet, okay? I said, oh my God. Oh my God. You finna have this old lady pulling a muscle and they're trying to get these clam slams together, girl. I screamed. Zach and Kata's people came. His parents are there. It's Charlie from last season, his brother, and their sister. Kata's sister and mom came. Her sister has the same face, just thick. This. Yeah, I see her. Kata's sister was something, boy. She need to be everywhere. That lady was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. Kata says, what do y'all think about the whole hideaway situation? Which I was like, what kind of questions? So I've been fucking, how y'all feel? What? They're just like, well, why he make that joke fresh out the hideaway? Her sister is convinced, not so convinced, but they're playing nice enough, okay? Zach people are just like, well, at least you weren't saying crazy stuff in Casa. And Charlie's like, I guess Zach's beating me out. Melanie and Sincere family is last, y'all. His mom not even there. It's his dad and his brother. Sister's just like, yeah, we got a lot to talk about, beloved. That's what Melanie's sister said to him. He gives a fake, oh, I'm so ashamed that, it had to come to this, but, yeah. Nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it. His dad chimes in and apologizes on their bloodline, child. But we are sorry that he is over here acting a fool like this. You seem wonderful, Melanie, and the family is rooting for you. Okay, his dad is so disappointed in him. This is not how he raised him. He raised him to point towards the North Star and this, that star. I said, oh, yeah, this sincere daddy. This is sincere daddy, okay? He sounded like he gotta fill her cup up and fast. Her family is literally crying, trying to convince her that she deserves better. Mel is confused at her sister coming at Sincere like that. Wow, I never seen you like that. I never seen you like that. She's like, girl, yes. He's playing you, sissy. He's a player. I was like, Jesus Christ. She was crying. I was like, dang, do your sister do this often? Because she was like deeply, I was like, oh my gosh. Your heart is sacred. She was saying it in Spanish. Tu corazón está claro. I was like, oh, baby, they are. Don't you let, girl, the astrologer's been saying somebody go, why I'm pregnant. I don't think they said it was, did they say season 8? I don't know. An astrologer said it's going to be some pregnancy around. I don't know if they said it's going to be this year or I don't know if they said it's going to be this year's season. But I was like, Lord, don't let it be nobody from this season. That is just too much. These people just met. Let it be somebody more established like Serena and Cordell, Leah and Miguel. Okay, I'm waiting on one of them to get engaged. They're just so cute. They're so cute. Okay. Mel, Trinity, and Anaya talk. Mama Harvey said that I wasn't being a good friend because I was minimizing your feelings because Sincere is my friend and I was wrong. Melanie gonna say, well, now I'm confused because you guys have been Team Sincere and now you're not Team Sincere. Well, girl, your mama, your sister, and his daddy are not Team Sincere. So let's go for the majority vote. Let's go for the people that know him best. Let's go for the people that have seen everything, okay? Not the people that have had the same viewpoint as you, even though it has been a terrible sight to see, even from that one. Jesus. Melanie and Sincere have a talk after both of their families told them that he is awful and don't deserve her. She don't care what her mama say, her daddy say. Oh, no, 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 okay? He's just acting like he's grown so much in the past, week and a half since the last time he's seen a bombshell or Casa girl, and he's gonna act right. No more disrespect. Next episode, Anaya is back to feeling bad and checking on Melanie. She asks how she feels. How do you feel? Not Sincere's feelings. Mila was like, I don't know. I'm kind of blank. But he's going through it right now. And then she just gets up and walks away. And then it looks like she's gonna go try to talk to Sincere in that moment. But he's talking to Bryce. So she just veers off in that direction. It's like, am I gonna see you later? And he's like, yeah, girl, you gonna see me later? I ain't got no video games to ignore you. I ain't even got no phone. Girl, we can't go nowhere. How else? Yeah, you gonna see me. And then he look at Bryce like, see, she weird. Like, she crazy, blah, 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 but she crazy. But yeah, so she veers back over and talks to Anaya. For some reason, Sincere has the whole house under some type of damn spell because everyone is just be so concerned for him and taking up for him and just, well, Sincere this and Sincere that. What? Child, they have a disgusting challenge with, they gotta, just when we were saying, oh, at least we didn't get no mouth-to-mouth mustard transfer, they said, oh, wait, you want that? That's what y'all want? And they have to go to this grocery shopping list game. They transferring sardines, mayos, and stuff. It's disgusting. Everybody is gagging and throwing up, except for Zach and Kata. Zach said, well, I'm from beans are a delicacy. And I don't know if y'all watch Jessie Woo, y'all, but I cracked up because she be calling him Mr. Beans and Toast. Because that's a proper English breakfast. They be having like sliced tomatoes, blood sausage, beans, and toast. And it's quite disgusting if I say so myself. I spent the summer over in London and Liverpool in college to look at the African diaspora of London. It was the worst of food. It was so bad. Okay, so the girls do some impersonations. Anaya says this is what they do in her family. They kind of go around and give little impersonations, and Anaya goes, see, you're a little girl. And they all bust out laughing, and Titi's like, oh my gosh, y'all. And they just really, I hope that the girls stay cordial outside of the villa. I know people were trying to make a big deal out of, oh, TT only followed Melanie. TT only followed Melanie. That ain't really something to worry about all that deeply. She ain't dissed nobody. She ain't liking no hate tweets. I heard it's a fake page out there doing as such. But hopefully they stay cordial because the girls really did have a good bond, right? And so TT goes to discuss this once they get to dinner. She has a speech and she tells them thanks for accepting her. She thought she was gonna have a hard time, and she didn't. And they were just like, you're easy to love, TT. And so Anaya and Trinity said, you're easy to love, TT. And you can tell, like, they just really be meshing with the girl. They really have good girl time with TT. They don't treat her no type of way. Her and Casey, Dylan, and Kenzie go home. They gotta break these fortune cookies, see their fate. I was surprised that they let Dylan and Kenzie go home, but I can see what they're setting up, and they're trying to set up the bigger picture, which is beyond the villa. If they can push this core four, oh my gosh, you guys love the core four. Y'all done transformed them into Bratz dolls. Y'all done did a whole lot with this core four image, which I love. It's great. I love the girls down. Core four, I'm here for it. So we can tell that this is going to be where the monetization is at. This is like PPG 2.0. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that. Dylan, Kenzie go home. Anaya tells Casey, I'm happy you found someone you cherish. He told her, I'm happy you're in the finals. You deserve it. Anaya and TT hug and have a moment. Sincere is crying that his bro Casey is leaving, child. Lastly, we got episode 35. Zach and Kata, well, this is where they get their dates, y'all. Let me take a step because this is so funny. Why they do them like that? They dropped Zach and Kata off at a creek. They dropped them off at a creek. And baby, you if I edited my videos, this is where I would be, where I would insert that video of who was it, Candy and Phaedra, standing there looking at looking at Neverland, looking at all that dirt and stuff. That's how Kata and Zach was standing at that creek like, wow, but what are we doing now? Is anybody going? They threw them a little folding table out there and tied some sandwiches together so the wind don't blow it apart. And baby, I had seen a TikTok before I saw the episode, and the TikTok was where the girl was like, Kata and Zach's date, and the lady come in with the Jimmy John's. Here you go. But can you tie it up and put a little bow on it? Why was that date so low budget? I would be offended, and she was. She was, but we'll get there later. So I will say this date, we slick saw another side of Zach. This is the most interest we've ever seen him show her. He seemed genuinely into her. So I guess, okay, if that's what you're getting outside of what we see, I can see how you like him, because he was acting like a regular man who is your boyfriend or would be your boyfriend type deal. I guess when Bryce not around, he's comfortable in showing his love because he seemed like a totally different person. He didn't nag her or anything. He was actually quite kind. He was letting her know that he was willing to follow her wherever she is in the States. Yeah, you can meet my family, but I ain't going back there for a while. I'm trying to be staying up with you and Bryce, and I'm going to be in the States, right? Trinity and Bryce are back at the villa making out on the kitchen counter, y'all. Carl is sitting there like, that's hot. Ooh, that's hot. And he's looking at Anaya to kind of gauge her reaction. She really has no reaction. She's just sitting there in the sun like, ooh, it's hot. We flash back over to Trinity and Bryce on the counter. Trinity gonna say, people eat here. Bryce said, well, yeah, let me put a plate under you. Ooh. Bryce. I was like, oh, he ain't playing. I love that for my niece. He said, exactly. And it was a couple of times, because even on their date, they had a nice little pretty dinner date, and they had some, dang, what is it? Like not Hawaiian, because they're not in Hawaii, but like the Tongan or the Polynesian dancers type deal. So they had them come out. But in this dinner date, they both say, I love you. She's like, come over here and kiss me. And he takes a moment of like, seeing how he was talking to her at the villa, it was a moment of being like, oh, I forgot these cameras. So I was about to tell you, just get on the table, right? Because he was like, oh, come around the table. Yes. Yeah. Yes, like come around the table. So the cultural dancers come out, everything's cute. Carl and Anaya's looked like a freaking wedding reception, okay? It was so cute. They saw us comparing them to Princess and the Frog, and they said, we will give you guys exactly that, okay? They've got books in the trees, hanging out, the lights and the florals, wedding party table. I said, good Lord, what did the bridesmaids wear? I was just expecting the ballerina to come out and get to dancing on down the aisle, child. It really was giving wedding reception. They even created them this fairy tale book of their journey. More so Anaya's journey, but yes, a fairy tale book for them. I said, oh my gosh, if they get married, that's gonna be something. When they went back to the villa to tell them, they were like, yeah, that's something to pass down to your kids. And he was like, yeah, you guys are invited to the wedding. I said, did you propose? He said, it don't matter. I'm marrying her. Whenever she's ready, I'm ready. Mel and Kata, as they're learning about the other girls' dates, you can see them realize, oh, we not winning this, huh? Because they like, we got some little rinky dink. Oh, did I even talk about Melanie's date? Melanie's date irritated me because they keep, and they keep influencing proximity for Sincere after he's done nothing to deserve access to her body. Them voting them into the hideaway and them going to the hideaway when he absolutely did not deserve that. It's her choice. If she wanted to say no, sure, but it's just, oh my, it's just I'm not gonna say forced proximity, but the placement of proximity to allow such things. Like, no. And then here we are with their date. They go on, get on a little boat, go out, and he gets to massage her. They also make some pieces. He put his in a heart shape and they talk blah, blah, blah. But as they're all discussing their dates back at the villa, and Trinity and Anaya are talking about their dates, you see moments of Melanie and Kata faces being like, oh, their dates had way more effort. These night dates was really something, huh? And we see that, they go line up. Who's the winner? Drum roll, please. Bryce and Trinity. That's who I voted for, to be quite honest. Like I said, Grandma Ann pushed them over the top for me. They might really be serious because Trinity is Grandma Ann, okay? The grandma is the baby. The grandma is the girlfriend. So Carla and I are cute. I hope they last as well. The other two girls, Sincere and Melanie, definitely need to break up. After Kata sees the clips, I want her to sit Zach down and have a conversation with him. He needs to learn to take things serious. Because he can't put more energy into Bryce than he does her. Which they won't be all together anymore. Well, they might be if they all do be on the villa. So I think a conversation needs to be had. I don't think she necessarily needs to break up with Zach per se. But probably, maybe. Okay, y'all, that is it. Trinity is the winners. We've got like a month and a half until the reunion. I think they said Andy Cohen is gonna host it. I said, oh, okay. I just hope he actually watched the season, because last time, did he not watch the season or something? It'd be annoying. They want to bring him in for the clout of, oh, Andy. But if he didn't watch the season, he not gonna know what questions to ask. He not gonna know where to push back and pull something else out. So it's very frustrating that they had him hosting when he don't be watching the damn episodes. But we shall see how it goes. Maybe that's why we got a month. Maybe in this month he can watch all the episodes. I'm gonna tweet him. Let's all get in Andy's comments and tell him he better watch the episodes and have good questions and commentary for this gosh darn reunion. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment. Let me know what y'all thought about this season. Some people say it's the worst season. I don't think it's the worst season, but it's absolutely the worst cast of men. Absolutely the worst cast of men. But I've only been watching since Cordell's season. So, this is my third season. But did not like the men this season at all. Sound off in the comments. Bye.